Okay, we are back here on Bridging the Gap, and we are joined by Nicole Bennett, who is the. Can you tell us exactly what your title is? I want to make sure I get it right this time.
Right, I have so many things.
Right.
But right now, my most important focus is being the chairman of the Black Conservative Federation Political Action Committee, as we call it, a PAC. So it's new. BCF PAC just started this year. It is very exciting. We have two candidates that we're supporting already. This would be Burgess Owens, Republican out of Utah, and Daniel Cameron.
Wow.
Republican, Kentucky. So yes, it's a very interesting thing. But I do lots of things. I've got a very popular podcast called Pop and Politics.
Okay.
I do some stuff with some Jewish folks of mine. Yeah. Anything where there's the love of God and helping the community advance, you'll find me.
Okay. The reason why I asked her to explain that because I just the other day I remember her as being the second vice chair of the Maryland GOP. First vice chair. See?
I found that out.
Right, of the Maryland GOP party, but no, she's no longer that. She's moved on to bigger and better things.
For sure, national spotlight. But I did enjoy my 2 terms as first vice chair of the Maryland Republican Party. We did manage to get quite a few people elected, especially people here, where I worked very, very hard with some very hardworking and honest candidates, Julie Giordano especially, them Delmar boys, without question, Jimmy Wynn, all of these really solid candidates. So we really got out and talked to people, heard what the constituents wanted, and delivered.
Okay.
Indeed. Now
Jimmy
look at
Wynn.
us.
I like the Jimmy Wynn thing. I'm going to call him that when I see him next time.
You better call him James. You better call him James. You call him Jimmy Wynn if you want to. It's going to be a problem.
Okay. Well, as I said earlier, Pax Garcia is one of our newest hosts here with Bridging the Gap, and he's going to be taking the lead from here on out as we were talking, and I guess he reminded me that I'm also, I know I'm a Black Republican, but I'm also someone that he's going to be interviewing here, so here we are.
Great. Thank you guys for having me. Of course, my name is Pax Garcia. So, Miss Nicole Bennett, you are the chair of the Black Conservative Federation. What sorts of responsibilities do you have in that position?
Raising money.
Raising
money. We do a lot of educational things. We spend a great deal of money, too. I will say that last year, I think we did 4 cookouts where we go into very low-income neighborhoods, usually referred to as the hood. And we have cookouts. We light up a grill, we have a DJ, and we engage people where they are. Right?
Okay.
We don't go door to door and talk to them about Republican politics. We just set up a party in their neighborhood. We don't say anything about politics. We just have on BCF t-shirts. Inevitably, the parents come and ask us, who are you and what do you want? So we don't want anything. We're just here in our community having fun with people.
I know
and
that's right.
Through the course of conversation, we start to talk about things that matter. Money, education, and getting out of said hood. So it works really, really good. It's a really, really good thing.
Interesting.
Wow. And so the Black Conservative Federation, that is a PAC that is national.
Yes, it's an organization with a national PAC. We impact Republican politics across this nation in a very significant way. We knock doors where other people won't go. We talk to people who are historically not touched, as we say in politics.
Wow.
And we lobby Congress. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Now, what sorts of challenges have you found in the position as the chair?
So for Black conservatives, the biggest thing that we find is people who don't believe that we're actually conservative. So it's a rare occasion where you run into another Black person who's also a conservative and you say, well, you're not conservative enough. We don't do that. But we do get that sometimes, that pushback from people who are maybe 60 plus, 70 plus, who have not really kept up with the speed of politics lately. And they kind of want to have this litmus test of how Republican are you?
Wow.
How conservative are
Wow.
you? Which is interesting because I hit them with, I'm a 3rd generation Republican.
Wow.
Third generation.
3rd generation, and it
Yes,
makes their
I know
eyes
that.
roll around in
Wow,
their
wow.
head.
Yeah.
I'm first generation, but wow. Okay.
Yeah, third
wow.
generation.
That's pretty cool.
So when you travel really across the entire country?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Headed out to California next week.
Oh, my
Praise
goodness.
him.
Just going to Virginia this weekend. We've been working to get Winsome Sears elected, which is a very, very big deal.
Heard a lot about her.
Not just for Republican Party, but for brown girls like me. It's
Amen.
a very, very big deal.
Yeah.
She would be the first black female governor of the great state of Virginia, and I am 100% behind her. She's a stellar human being. She has led the way her entire political career, and it is just awful that the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People,
Right.
the NAACP, has chosen to support Abigail Spanberger. This is the Democrat that she's running against. But I should expect that. They're really just an arm of the Democrat Party. They're not really for the advancement of colored people. It's a
Okay.
misnomer.
Interesting. Interesting. So they were intended to fulfill that purpose, but they haven't met that
Nope.
purpose.
I think at this point, where they are and who they are as an organization, they have been so intertwined with Democrat politics that sometimes they don't see the forest for the trees. And I think in this particular instance with this race, the reason why I think we're so upset about it is Winsome Sears is, when I say stellar, there are very few women, black, white, or indifferent, who have that resume. And to have her being the first sitting black lieutenant governor of the great state of Virginia, overcharge of $900 million to help HBCUs, which she did significantly. She has so much stuff on her resume.
Sure.
She's not one of those people who has an artificially inflated resume. She really walks the walk and talks the talk. If they said to me or to the American public, we're going to sit this one out for political reasons, I would have had much more respect than they choosing to go for the Democrat former CIA agent rather than the stellar black woman and call themselves for the advancement of colored people. Maybe they should change the name.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you for
One
those
thing
thoughts.
about
Thank
Nicole, she doesn't sugarcoat.
Yeah.
She's as real as you get them.
Listen, Governor Baum said I'm not subtle, and I try to be subtle. It's just it doesn't work. It's not my personality type. It did anger us greatly. Obama came out, and we expected that. He's a political person. He's not looking at the history-making part of this. He's swinging for the fences for his party, and I don't begrudge him that. But when you have an organization that says to you that we are nonpartisan, and we are here for the advancement of colored people, and then you take a look at this very outstanding black woman and turn your back and pick the blonde chick who worked for the CIA. No, you may not know this, Pac, but the CIA has a storied history in the black community. We're going to talk about crack on the West Coast and this, their super predator language and all. We have a history with them. So to look at this stellar black woman and say no, but say yes to someone, and I'm not saying that Abigail Spanberger was a part of that, but she's a part of that team.
Yes.
To say yes to that is difficult for me to, as a black woman, to sit and not say anything.
Okay.
Interesting. I like that.
Interesting. Now, zooming out a little bit, would you say that the Black Conservative Federation, in some way, of course, the Black Conservative Federation, it's in the name that it is conservative, it's going to be Republican, but would you say in some way it does a good thing and it maybe counters, let's say, the political power of the NAACP?
The NAACP has name recognition in black communities for what it used to be a century ago.
Okay.
Right? What it did in the early 1930, 1940, 1950, during that civil rights thing, and a little bit, probably I would give it to maybe the 70s, early 80s, before it became just an extension of liberal politics. It is unfortunate. It is truly unfortunate because there are some very tremendous people who are about the advancement of black communities who subscribe to this particular organization. However, when you have your national saying, this black woman ain't good enough, we're going to take CIA for 500, Alex, there's a problem. There is an absolute problem. When we talk at BCF, when we go out and we talk to people, I never have to announce myself as a black Republican. I never have to tell people that I'm conservative. I never have to have those words. But I do think that there's a small part of our population that's going to stick with the NAACP regardless of what they do, simply because of their storied history.
Yes.
And I'm not taking anything away from what they have done. I'm saying in this moment, it is incredibly unpleasant.
Okay. Now, I've spent some time myself in Baltimore City and other areas of the state of Maryland. And one thing I've always found is that people will reminisce to a time before
Absolutely.
drugs really became prominent in certain communities and black communities.
Yep.
And they reminisce to it as if it was a completely different existence. The sidewalks were clean. The marble steps were
Right.
washed
Yeah.
thoroughly by
They
black
used to
Americans.
do that.
Yes.
Saturdays, that was the thing.
Oh, for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
Right. And even though we're here in Wycomico County, of course, Baltimore City is our prominent city in the state of Maryland. But there are other areas as well where this has happened, where drugs have become so prominent.
Wow.
And you can meet people today who are so distraught because of it. It's
Oh.
Yeah.
ravaged these communities. So how would you say that the Republican Party or the Black Conservative Federation, PAC, aims to help those communities or those people that are maybe suffering, but maybe see, because of the history of the CIA or the history of other organizations, maybe they see the Republican Party as a part of that?
Yes. So people ask me that all the time. How can you be a part of such a racist organization? And I just say to them, you don't know your history.
Exactly.
You don't know your history. The Republican
that
Party
research.
is mine. It's mine. I belong to the Republican Party. The Republican Party belongs to me. This is not a situation where we are Johnny-come-latelys. Black people have been a part of the Republican Party since its inception. This is not new. This is not new. But when people don't know their history, they're doomed to repeat it. So
Right.
knowing what you know, moving in circles like at BCF. BCF is a very active organization. We have financial literacy. We go into communities and teach regular literacy, how to read, how to negotiate, how to bump up in your job, resume writing.
Wow.
We do all of those things, and we do it for free. We raise the money, the PAC raised the money, BCF raised the money in general funds, and we spend that money impacting our communities to the best of our ability. And when I say to the best of our ability, I mean I can offer a dying man a life-saving rope. But if he doesn't want to save himself, I can't force him.
Right.
I can't. I can lead a horse to water. I can't make him think.
drink. No.
I cannot. I can't make a man think. What I can do is present to you information. There is a success sequence in this life. And we talk about it all the time. And when you sit down with, they call themselves the Black intelligentsia, but when you sit down with thinkers like Delano Squires, you may know him from Blaze Media, from the Heritage Foundation, Ian Rowe, who opened up a chain of schools in New York City that teaches classical education, sitting down with these men, and they will talk to you over and over again about the success sequence, which is graduate from at least high school, at a minimum high school.
First do that.
Graduate from high school, yeah? Get yourself a job and work. Work is not a dirty word. Work. Get married. Then have a child.
How about that?
And here's the thing about the success sequence.
In its order.
It's in order. You have to do these things in a particular order. You may
Wow.
not take a
Wow.
bride until you can put a roof over her head and cover her. You may not bring a child into this world until you can provide for it. What has happened is that so many communities, not just the Black community, but so many communities have messed up that sequence because the federal government has gotten so large that it steps in and says, oh, don't worry, we'll take care of it. We're not going to let you starve to death. We got you. But the truth of the matter is they only give you just enough to keep you begging for more the next month. So you're not advancing. You're not advancing. You say, oh, well, I've got this beautiful Section 8 home and me and my kids can live here for pennies on a dollar compared to market rate rent. But can I tell you, nobody comes into my home to see how clean it is or if I have a man living there with me. Living that way costs you something that's precious and irredeemable, and it's called freedom.
Indeed.
Freedom is not free. It is not free. And as
That part.
much as I would like to give it to somebody as a gift, it only counts when you earn it yourself.
Right.
So go get your freedom by standing on your own 2 feet, following that success sequence. And we talk to kids about this all the time. The reason why we talk to children about it over and over again is because kids learn over and over again. Repetition is the way that they learn. This is how you get to learn song lyrics. You listen to the song over and over again, right? I want them to hear my voice say, graduate from high school, get a job, get married, have a child, in that order, in that order. And there's a 98% chance that you will never know poverty in this country. 98 studies have shown that.
Wow.
So this is a thing. But there's a really great case that's happening in Ohio now where the Ohio School Board does not want the success sequence taught in schools.
Yeah.
Planned Parenthood is funding that. You want to know why?
Tell us.
Because we're cutting into their profit margin with these children, these young people deciding to put off being a parent and focus on being a young adult first. It's cutting into their profit margin.
Wow.
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 Wow. Now, you said something there that was very interesting to me. So the success formula,
Success sequence.
the success sequence, I think of it as a formula in my head. Excuse me. So, a lot of people, they might think of success as about money, building your resources, building your capital, maybe starting a business and being successful that way, or getting a college degree and going that way. Now, something else you mentioned, though, was getting married.
Yes.
And so marriage is a big part of that. And marriage, of course, is a Christian sacrament. It's a Christian tradition. And so I'm curious to know if your faith as a Christian plays a huge role or any role in talking to Americans and doing outreach for Black Americans or Black conservatives.
I outreach to all people.
That's right.
But
Yes.
I really do. I don't, we call it the Jesus stick. I don't hit people with the Jesus stick. I don't.
I like that. I'm
And let
gonna
me
use
tell
that
you
one.
why.
Yeah.
Because once you hit somebody with the Jesus stick, they turn their ears off. They're
Yeah.
not hearing anything else you're
Absolutely.
saying.
They're
Yes.
offended.
The way that I bring people to Christ is through my example. The example of how I live. So what's important is when I'm talking to people who say, well, maybe in a situation like me, my husband died. So how am I supposed to make this success sequence work?
Yeah.
I said, well, listen, just because one piece is missing doesn't mean you
Right.
throw the whole thing away. Right?
Exactly.
You can replace the husband, get on your face and ask God to send you a new one, right?
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you still need to work and you still need to
Yes.
parent that child. The success sequence works for everybody, not just
Wow.
Black people.
Wow.
Success is having a roof over your head when it's cold and raining and wet.
Thank you, Jesus.
Having air conditioning when it's hot. Do you know what I mean? Having a car, you can go out and go where you need to go. It is a part of freedom. It is the basic foundation of an American person is being free. Can I tell you, people who live in poverty don't know freedom. They don't know freedom. Freedom is walking into a grocery store and saying, I don't know what I want to have for dinner. And I wander about aimlessly until something looks good. And I say, oh, well, let's have some salad. Let's have a little chicken. When I tell you people who live in poverty don't have that kind of freedom. People who have Section 8 housing, well, they have to have their homes inspected
Right.
to make sure what? To make sure you don't have a man, that your house is not filthy, you're not hoarding. Where's the freedom in that? Where's the
Right.
freedom in that? There is no freedom when you're poor in this nation. I want everyone to experience freedom, but freedom is not free. It costs you work, crying at night. It's difficult to go from a dependent person to an independent person
It is very
because
hard.
you get very comfortable. And sometimes poor becomes familiar. It is what you know, and you pass it on to your children. And then your children pass it on to their children.
Right.
And before you have it, a generational curse.
Took the words right out of my
It's a
mouth.
generational curse.
It
You
is.
know, I want to, if I can say this, great question he had a while ago about the NAACP versus BCF. It really sounds like BCF in a lot of ways is doing or picking up the slack of what
Right.
NAACP is supposed to be doing in the communities.
I think the NAACP's charter is very different than BCF. I think what BCF does, because BCF is very much a millennial organization full of young people, what BCF likes to do is to be impactful. And that's our goal. Our goal is not to have tremendous conventions and that kind of thing. That's not the goal. In fact, we have one major party a year. It's our BCF Honors, and this is a party where we honor other people.
Yeah, we're going to try to make the next one.
Yes.
I think we were invited to the last
Yeah,
one. We're trying to make
it's a
this next
hoot.
one.
You know, people think that, you know, BCF is known for throwing a great party, but BCF is known for knocking doors, supporting candidates, lobbying Congress, working with the powers that be to impact the community. We don't want to just talk about it. We be about it. I mean, I hate to put it in that basic language, but, you know, when you see a hungry person, it's one thing to say, oh, well, there's a hungry person. We should count that person, put a tick on the list.
Wow.
Somebody calls somebody, there's a hungry person, versus feeding the person who's hungry.
You got to feed them.
Feeding the person who's hungry.
That's the right thing to do.
Not only the right thing to do, that's community building. And that's what BCF does. We build communities. Now, are we definitely conservative? Without question. We stand on those principles and traditions that our grandparents taught us.
Yeah.
You know, and in today's world, it's saying something because our grandparents didn't have the alphabet mafia. There's no LGBTQIA plus minus carry to one. We didn't have any of that back in the day. So now we're having to negotiate a very different world with these traditional values. And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes there's no middle ground for us to stand on. And in those times, that's when you'll see the conservatives step up a little bit more than the traditional values, but it's all to the good. Our goal is to have better communities for everyone, not just for Black America, but for all of America.
So my question is, how do I become a member of the BCF PAC?
Listen, so you just go online. It's BCF Action. Or go info@BCF Action if you want to send an email. Go onto the website, click membership. I think it's $35. I'm not sure. Click in. And listen.
We're going to try to put that at the bottom of the screen.
Indeed,
So
yes.
others can reach out to it. Wow, I would love to continue this conversation.
Indeed.
Time doesn't allow us to go too much further here, but thank you. Thank you for
welcome.
what you're doing. Pax, awesome job.
Pax, you got any more
thank you.
questions for me? I know I just kind of started prattling
no,
on.
he's awesome. I mean, I would love to have you back, and we're going to be actually on site with our next part of our interview, but or off site, not here. But I want to thank you once again for coming.
Listen,
Thank you.
You guys
Seriously.
should come and hang out with us at BCF Honors so you could see.
We will be there. We're going. We're
all
going.
of our-
Sure.
Well, I know Sissy's coming. You can bring your husband if you want to.
Well, I
Sis.
mean,
Right?
wherever she go, I'm going.
And
Once
Pax, you're
again.
absolutely welcome to come.
Thank you
It
so
is
much.
definitely a star-studded event. It is the
Yes.
payoff for working so very hard. And
Was that the dinner that was at the White House?
No.
no. So
that was when we were driving around looking for parking. That was that event.
that was the inaugural ball.
No.
No.
I mean, you sent us something right before Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, that was it.
That was BCF because the president was there.
Yes.
Wasn't Tiger Woods there too?
Yes.
We missed Tiger.
Yes. So
Wow.
it's usually
Wow.
around my birthday, and I hate that. If I could change one thing.
Do you really hate to be around everybody on your birthday?
Yes, because I'd rather be laying on the beach. I'd rather be on a cruise. I'd rather be somewhere else. But Deontay Johnson, who is a tremendous leader of this organization, you should get his book. He's also very devoutly Christian, and it talks about his walk into politics as a Christian person, and his vision that he's gotten from a bird's eye view of watching this crazy thing that we call life happening in front of people who want to stop you from having such a good life. I mean, it is absolutely lunacy the things we go through, but Deontay has decided that February is the month. And I'm like, great, I can do February. He was like, okay, we're going to do it on or around February 22nd. It's my birthday. It's my birthday every year.
Mine's the 27th. I understand.
Oh my gosh, it just
Our
burns me up.
anniversary is the 25th.
Oh, I remember.
burns me up every year. But every year I do have a tremendous birthday party, so
Okay.
I get to have a great party with all of my friends and some political
Indeed.
Yes,
people.
you do. We're going to be looking forward to being a part of that this year.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for this segment. And again, we're going to be mixing it up and talking to BJ Hall next in our next segment. Thank you again.
Bye.